guys, and sorry about how crazy early it is and for my insane bedhead and no makeup, but I wanted to do a reading vlog this weekend because I haven't done one before, and I put a poll out there on Instagram stories and on Twitter, and the majority of the people said that they kind of wanted to see it, so I thought that I would do it this weekend because I have a couple of plans for today, but then tomorrow I'm pretty much just going to be devoting to reading, so I just thought it would be a good weekend to do this. And then also the fact that the royal wedding is this morning, that's why I'm up so early. I have my cup of English breakfast and I'm watching the live stream on CNN right now, and Megan just got there and they're listening to the clergyman. It's kind of like a fairy tale, right? And the fact that her dress is so simple and her bouquet is so simple, it's just very understated but classic, and it's so nice to witness these sorts of things. Like, I was awake for Kate's wedding. Yep, you gotta be there for the royals, don't ya? Anyway, so I'm going to be watching this for the next little while and then getting ready because my friend Shannon and I are going to Stratford for the day. So just like a little road trip to get away and check out the shops there. But they are calling for rain, so I'm a little worried about that. But you know, it is what it is, bring an umbrella. I have a couple of books that I want to read this weekend, but I might get more into that once I am home. And for now, I'm just gonna enjoy my tea this morning and watch the royal wedding. Okay, so I think I'm looking a little bit more human again. This morning was an early start for the royal wedding, but it was absolutely beautiful. Like I said before, it was like a fairy tale. Meghan looked beautiful, Harry was just so happy, and I will admit I did cry because I'm a woman and I felt the emotions. Now that I am a little bit more presentable, much more awake, I'm actually going to be meeting Shannon, and we are going to head out to Stratford and just hang out there for a couple of hours and then come back and get into some reading for the weekend. Anyway, I'm going to go grab a Starbucks, pick up Shannon, and then we are on our way out. Alright, so we made it. We've been here for the past couple of hours, did some shopping, and now walking along the water, and I just love this place so much. We do match. We did not plan this, but we are both wearing like white eyelet and lace shirts and blue pants, which we're just twinsies today. Absolutely love the trees,
get the geese
and the bridge, and the geese babies. Oh, hey!
They're so fuzzy. Want to say a little something to the camera, little guy? No?
No?
Okay.
Hi, Shannon!
Hi!
Okay, so I think we can all agree I am not the best at vlogging in public. I got real shy when I was out and I did not want to bring the camera out. So that's why you don't really have much in the way of footage from Stratford, but I got back a couple of hours ago, had some dinner, and watched the season finale of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I don't know if I'm going to keep up with the show. I like it, but that season finale, I don't think they did it very well. I don't know if anybody else watches it, but yeah, there's just no resolution. And I mean, I know season finales are meant for cliffhangers, but there was way too many questions of what is actually going on. Like, it's just too confusing. So I don't know if I'm going to continue on with that show next season. I've sort of been getting out of a lot of TV. But yeah, like I said, as you can see, I am back. My hair is like a ratty mess now, but looks probably more similar to my bedhead this morning. But we did go to the shops when we were in Stratford, and I picked up a couple of things, so I thought that I would show you guys before I get into some reading this evening. But it's all like little boutique stores, and one of them was Niob Lavender, which does like lavender essential oils and different lavender infusions, and I don't think any lavender is in what I actually got. No, but I ended up getting some cream. It's like a whipped shea cocoa butter type situation, and it's rose geranium, and it just smells so, so good. I guess they have lavender fields in Niagara on the Lake, and that's where they get them all from, but I absolutely love this, and I need a new hand cream, so I thought that this would be a good substitute for what I usually use. And it's going to be super relaxing. It says enriching, anti-wrinkle, and balancing. So yeah, I'm very happy with that, and the container kind of makes it look like an old school apothecary, and I just really like that aesthetics. There's also a clothing store there called Harmony that I really like. Don't know what that noise was. I usually get a couple of things from there when I go to Stratford, but I surprisingly didn't really get anything from there. Shannon did get a new top because she had never been there before, but I wanted to show her one of the stores that I really like. But after that, we sort of made our way around the road to a smaller sort of off the main road section, which is kind of on the water, and there's this really, really cute little tea shop called Distinctly Tea that we went to, and you can buy a bunch of like their specialty tea blends, and I ended up getting a fresh cup of hot tea when we were there, and they had the coolest little invention. Like they put the regular tea leaves in the cup, and then they filled it with the hot water, and then they gave you a lid. So there's no bag, nothing like that, but what filters out the tea is there's like this little foamy insert that is sort of built into the lid of the disposable cup, and it filters out the tea leaves. And it's just such an ingenious sort of device. But anyway, I digress. They have a whole bunch of different tea blends and so many different options there. So I took a little sniff around a few of their teas, and one that I found, which is actually very polarizing apparently, but I absolutely love the taste of chocolate orange. Like Terry's chocolate oranges are one of my favorite things, and they have a chocolate orange tea, and I am so happy. It smells so good. It smells like a Terry's chocolate orange. So I ended up getting a fresh brewed cup of this when I went there, and it was so, so good. I am so happy with this. I mean, I have a lot of tea, and I probably don't need more tea, but very happy that I have this because I was running out, well, actually I am out of all of my chocolate orange tea. Because this stuff is way better than David's tea, hands down. The next thing Shannon sort of saw, and I kind of couldn't not get it, because it's black tea, and it's the library blend, which is so cute. I just love the package, and it's loose leaf tea again in there. But the really cool thing about this, so they have this whole program in regards to this, and it is the Evergreen Award Program. It's a program of the Ontario Library Association, and it gives adult library users the opportunity to vote for Canadian fiction or non-fiction from a short list of 10 titles each year, with readers choosing the winner. So I just thought that was really cool, and then this sort of supports that association, so I am very happy to have some more black tea. I have a tea problem, and I'm okay with it. And then after our walk around the water, which you would have saw some really brief footage of, on our way back to the car, we ended up stopping at Rio Thompson, which is the chocolate shop, well, one of the chocolate shops that's in Stratford, and you can't go there and not get something. So I got two of my favorite things, which I really shouldn't have because I've been doing really good health-wise with food and whatnot, but I had to. So this is an orange smoothie, and it's an orange chocolate smoothie, so it's just like a super creamy, delicious chocolate with the flavoring of orange. So I got one of those, and I might have that while I'm reading tonight, which sounds amazing. And the other thing that I got was mint smoothies, and these are so delicious. I absolutely love them. They're one of my favorite things, and I can smell them through the packaging, and they're just so good. So they're the same thing as the orange smoothie. These are just smaller little squares, so they're gonna last a lot longer, hopefully, but you never know, because I absolutely love these. If chocolate and orange is amazing, mint and chocolate is just, oh, it's even better. So I had to get some of these because these are classic. I feel like everybody who thinks of Rio Thompson thinks of these, and they're just so good. So yeah, now what I think I'm gonna do is possibly watch a little bit of YouTube, because it is it's Saturday. Wow, time, Kaylee. It's Saturday, and people put out a bunch of videos on Saturday, which, speaking of, I put out 2 videos today, which I should probably look into to see how things are going, because I did get some emails about comments and things. But yeah, so the videos that I put out today was my very first Owl Crate unboxing, and that's with the May theme, Fight Like a Girl, and that was so much fun. Like, I feel like I filmed that in such a whirlwind, because I got the box and then immediately went to film, and I was so excited because I've never had a subscription box like that before, and I've been wanting Owl Crate for a few years. So I was just really, really happy to go through it, and I think it's still sinking in that I received stuff from it, which is kind of weird to say, but I think next month I'm going to have to take it a little bit slower and just take my time and really appreciate each thing as I'm opening it. But the other video is also a unhaul video, because there have been a lot of those going around, and I've literally never done an unhaul before. Like, I don't get rid of my books, so doing an unhaul video was a whole new thing for me, and I went a little bit overboard. I had like 30 books that I'm going to be getting rid of, which I still have to donate, also giving some away to my cousin. But yeah, if you haven't checked out those videos yet, please check them out. And I think, yeah, I'm going to watch some YouTube right now, and then I will let you know what I'm going to be reading this evening. Actually, I'm probably going to make a tea, because it's me. I cannot believe it is already 8:15 right now. Like, this day has just flown right by, and I haven't been able to get in any reading yet. Or at least, I haven't gotten any reading in yet. That's my own fault. I did plan on doing a lot more, but it is the long weekend, so I think I'll be able to get in a lot of reading. So I figured I would give you a rundown of what I'm hoping to get in some reading with. And one of the books is actually an ARC that I received from HarperCollins, and it is The Locksmith's Daughter by Karen Brooks. I started this a few days ago. I'm 10 chapters in, so I'm on page 84 right now of that, and it's not a quick read, so I'm sort of just keep coming back to it, but I do want to get in a bit more reading of this book. And then I definitely want to completely read Sky in the Deep, and that's by Adrienne Young. This is the book that we got in the May Owl Crate box, so I am very, very happy with this. It's a signed edition, as Owl Crate usually does, and the cover is more silver than gold, which I'm really, really happy with, because I definitely prefer silver to gold. So I am very pleased with the cover on this one, but I also want to read this weekend. I haven't started it yet. I think this is what I'm going to start tonight and see how far I get. Yeah, so that is my plan so far for this weekend. If I end up finishing Sky in the Deep, and I'm not really feeling like reading Locksmith's Daughter, then I'm not sure what I'll go to, but I do have my TBR shelf behind me, so I'm sure I can find something. But for now, I've got a fresh cup of tea. I'm going to put on my favorite collection of Disney songs, because I have a playlist that I really, really like on YouTube, and it's all piano instrumental versions of the songs. So it's the top 100 songs, I believe, and it's just beautiful, and it's great to have on in the background when you're reading. So I am 9 chapters into this book. It's been about an hour, and I just gotta say, the protagonist of this book, Elin, she is badass. I don't think I have read a character like her before, so I'm really finding this a refreshing read. So I'm gonna get back to it. I just thought that I would touch base because it's been a little bit. So yeah, I guess I will touch base again in a little bit. Update time. It is about 12:30. I'm a little over 200 pages into Sky in the Deep, and I've decided I'm not going to bed until I finish it because I am really into it. Like I said, the main protagonist is so awesome, and I really don't remember reading this type of character before. And the story is really interesting, and I'm super happy. I've been wanting to read this book for a while, so I'm glad that it came in my owl crate and that I get a chance to read it today because I feel like it's exactly what I needed, and that's always a good thing. So I'm gonna get back to reading, and it's probably not gonna be until like 2 o'clock before I go to bed, but I'll check in with you later. And one thing actually that I did just want to say is my fingers are stained with ink. And honestly, that's happened, this will be the second time that this has happened this year. No, third time that it's happened this year. And I think overall, it's only happened maybe like 10 times a book has caused me to have ink-stained fingers. And what that means is I'm just really gripping onto the book because I am loving it so much, and my hands don't have a break to be away from the pages, so they just get ink stained. And I'm flipping through the pages so quickly that they're always in contact with the words. So I always find I'm always so proud. This is a weird thing, probably. No one else has this probably happen to them, but I always feel proud when I have ink stained fingers. There's something, I don't know, there's something special about it. That's super cheesy. I don't know if I'm just delusional right now because it's so late, but yeah, I just thought I would share that as well. Alright, it went a little bit later. It's 2:30 now, but I finished Sky in the Deep, and it was so good. I don't know if this is a standalone or not, but I really want more. I need more. It was so good. I am really happy with this. I can't even describe how good this book was. Like, it was just perfect. Well, I mean, there was a couple of things I will say, but right now I'm kind of in like, I'm in book high mode because I just finished it, and it's just, I'm really, really happy. But yeah, like I said, I hope that there's a sequel. I don't know if this is a standalone or not because the characters are amazing. Like, I love these characters, and I just want to see more of them. But yeah, so that was, how many pages was that? So that was 335 pages read today. So I think I started at 9, and then now it's 2:30 and I took a little bit of a break. Oh, but now I'm way too tired and I need to go to bed. I'm probably gonna sleep in tomorrow, and then I've got cleaning the apartment and a couple of other things that I have to do, but then it's more reading, and I'm really excited about that. So I'm gonna leave you for tonight, and I will see you in the morning. So I'm in the midst of cleaning, and I've opened up all my windows, and it's so nice to have the fresh breeze come in and the sound of birds chirping, and it's just so genuinely peaceful. I really like it, and because I'm still like on this Viking kick because of Sky in the Deep last night, I put on How to Train Your Dragon, because I think that's the closest thing that I have to just like a fun Viking-y movie that you can put on while you clean. And I've still got a little ways to go, but progress is coming along. I'm just waiting for the moment when I can read again, because I promised myself I would clean the apartment today, and I will, and it's happening, but I just want to read. So this is the view that I'm talking about. Like, how is that not just the nicest thing to be able to see? And I've got a whole wall of windows, which I really like, and I just get to see all of this, all the green. So peaceful. Hello again! So it has been a few hours, as you can probably tell, but I'm done cleaning, the apartment is fresh, and clean, and I am so happy about it because there's very few things that are better than a super clean apartment. And I'm not one to really have my apartment be messy, but it's just nice to really do a full overhaul cleaning where you take things out, you throw things away, you do a really full-on Windex and pledge of everything, every nook and cranny, and it's just nice to have that. So yeah, I ended up finishing watching How to Train Your Dragon while it was on in the background while I was cleaning, but when that ended, I ended up watching, I ended up also putting on the movie, which I don't know how many people know this movie or who likes it or not, but Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters with, who is it? Jeremy Renner and Gemma something. But I absolutely love this movie, and I feel like I'm very much in the minority in that respect, but it's just such a fun movie, and every time I watch it I like it more and more, but I put it on while I was cleaning, and that was a bad idea because it just distracted me and I ended up just watching it. But when I finished cleaning, I took a shower. Now I'm going to probably think of something for dinner because it's almost 5 o'clock. Well, it's 4:30, so I should think of something to eat, and then I'm going to pick a book for the evening, and I'm trying to decide between 3 different books, so we'll see how that works out. But I just thought I would give you guys an update and touch base, and that is where we're at right now. I am trying to decide between this book here, which is one that I got in Owl Crate this month, and it's by Kayla Keenan, and it's called Catching Stars, and it's like a witchy kind of book with dual perspective, so if you want to take a look, there it is right there, and it actually sounds pretty cool. I haven't really read anything like this, I don't feel like, so I might read that. I did take a look at the first couple pages and it interested me, so that is up there on the list. And then the other one, I was thinking of doing The Diminished, but I'm kind of thinking now What Should Be Wild by Julia Fine. This book is kind of like a modern fairy tale type book now, and if you do want to read a bit more, I'm not sure if you can see that, but there is the synopsis, and it just sounded like a really cool read, which I feel like if I don't get to both of these tonight, I will probably end up reading them tomorrow. And oh, you can see down there, I've got Belle and Beast hand puppets. Yes, I have them. They're hand puppets. I've had them pretty much my entire life, or at least ever since the movie came out. A really super eclectic collection because I read pretty much everything, and if I see a book that interests me, I'm going to pick it up, and I just don't want to risk forgetting about it and not having it. Because basically, if I come across a book that I think is really, really interesting and I don't want to risk forgetting about, then I will buy it. Or if it's an edition that looks really cool to me, then I'll get it. Because again, I just don't want to forget about it. Because that is a heartbreaking thing when you find a book and you're really interested in it, but you don't get it, and then it goes to the back of your mind or you forget it completely. Like, that's just heartbreaking. So I have a whole bunch of books that pretty much whenever any mood strikes, like if I want something educational, if I want something fantasy or horror or autobiographical or whatever, I have it easily accessible on my shelves, so I am never without something to read. That being said, I still buy books all the time, so it's never, my TBR shelf is never going down, basically. It's always going to be in this state, just with different books cycling through it. So yes, that is, again, my conundrum, to read We Should Be Wild by Julia Fine, or to read Catching Stars, or keep working on The Locksmith's Daughter. This one, I know I'm not going to finish it this weekend, so it's really just going to be working on it. So if I actually want to make progress working through my TBR shelf, then I need to read one of those other ones, because that means I'll be able to read them tonight. The Julia Fine one looks like a pretty quick read, and same with Catching Stars, so you know, I'm going to do Catching Stars. I'm going to say that this is the winner for this evening, and if I'm not feeling it partway through, then I'll just stop and pick something else up. But this one is an Owl Crate exclusive edition, and the exclusive cover as well is different. I think the original cover, the little magical swirls around her are green, whereas in this one they are like a golden color. So yeah, I am going to work on reading this one. So I'm going to turn on my Disney music, I'm going to brew some tea, and get to reading. I have also decided that the tea I'm going to have while I read my book is going to be this chocolate orange tea that I got yesterday when I was in Stratford. Now, let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are on chocolate orange as a combo, because it's just, people love it or they hate it, and I am in the loving it group. I also ended up just having a bunch of vegetables for dinner, so I think I'm going to treat myself to some chocolate. Let's see if I can get this out and open one-handed. Oh my god, it just smells so good. Oh, look at the little guys. Okay, I'm just going to have one of these. Even though I keep it low, anytime the Beauty and the Beast soundtrack comes on, I always get distracted. And right now Bella's playing, and I just keep singing it over and over in my head. Okay, back to reading. Alright, so I am about an hour into reading Catching Stars, and I am on page 56 right now. I am brewing another cup of tea because I drank my first one really quickly, so I'm brewing another pot. But I just thought I would touch base with you about this book so far, and I am really digging it, I will say that. One thing that I really like about this book so far is the magic system. There are different types of magic that you can have, but there's a couple of things that haven't quite cleared up for me yet, but I'm sure that they will eventually, and that is how the magic is different. Like, you know that there's all these different types of magic, but why is that magic different? And then also the rules behind the magic in the government there is a little bit difficult too, because there's witch hunters, but then there's also witches that work for the king, and there are some that are banned, and I'm just not quite sure why that is and what makes each different type of witch different, and why some are banned and some are used, and I don't know, there's just a couple of questions that I have about that. And then the magic that Jayan has, the main character, well, the female main protagonist, her magic is really cool. Like, it's very much based around the aura of a person, and she can somehow tap into their feelings even if she hasn't met them. I don't know, it's really cool, and I really want to see more of it, so I'm excited to keep reading this. And it's kind of funny because I don't think I necessarily would have picked this up if I saw it myself in a store, so I'm glad that I got this one in that Owl Crate because I am enjoying it, and this is right up my alley. Oh, you can't see it anymore. Got all my windows open because it's the long weekend. It's May 2-4. And I can hear fireworks, and sometimes I can see them, but there's about 5 different fireworks shows going on every once in a while I'm reading. Still reading. Still listening to Disney. There's some fireworks going on there, behind that tree, there, and then soon there's going to be some going on over there as well. Okay, so that is another book done. It is almost 2 o'clock again, and I just finished Catching Stars by Kayla Keenan, and this one, and that was 335 pages for that book, and I really enjoyed it. And I'm really happy that apparently it's the first in a series, because now I'm kind of obsessed with it. And I want to read all of them, so I'm going to look up when the next ones come out. but I am super, super tired right now. So I'm gonna go to bed and then maybe do another book tomorrow. But yeah, so that was Catching Stars, and that was really, really good. I recommend that. There were a few spelling mistakes and a couple of times that I think the copy editor missed. So there were some issues with it in terms of the editing, but all in all the story was really good. I liked the way that the magic system worked. I liked the two main characters and the big bad, and it was just, oh, it was so good. It's another one that apparently this is exactly what I was in the mood for, and I didn't even know it. So I'm really happy with that one. So far I'm 2 books down for this long weekend, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. I got ready for bed and I brushed my hair. This is what happened. Yep, that's what I get for not blow drying it or doing anything to it. And then I brushed it out. That was a horrible mistake. Also, I have retainers in, so you guys are seeing like a whole other side of me. Like, these vlogs are getting real weird. Like, you've probably seen every crazy iteration of my hair by now. You've seen me with no makeup, and now I've got retainers in. So yeah, this is, I guess, what vlogging is all about. I don't know, I'm new to this in particular, but it's been fun keeping you guys up to date with my reading, I guess, so far this weekend. And it is a long weekend, so I have another day tomorrow, technically today, but I just thought I would share my embarrassment of hair with you guys, and now I'm gonna go to bed because I am beat. Alright, now it's time to get in today's workout. This month I am doing the Blogilates May workouts, and I absolutely love them. I think that they are a really, really challenging workout at times, and I enjoy them. So today is butt day, so I'm going to be doing everything on the 21st. Because it's, oh my gosh, already the 21st. Okay, wow, that was a workout. That was such a great workout. Oh my god. I think I need a shower now. Worked off that breakfast, that's for sure. If you haven't done the Blogilates workouts ever, I highly recommend them. I think I'm going to keep going with this next month as well. Yeah, it's a good workout. You think that it might not be because you're not physically at a gym, but oh man, it's amazing. And boom, just like that, I am back to looking somewhat presentable. And I've straightened my hair just because I felt like it after having it a little bit unmanageable over the weekend. Just straightening it out felt like it. So here's me with straight hair now. So yes, you are truly getting every version of my hair this weekend. But yeah, I'm finally all showered and clean, and I felt so gross after that workout, even though it felt so good. But yeah, so now I think I'm going to watch the season 5 finale of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, because it's just the season finale. It's not the full-on series finale, because the internet wins at everything and it's coming back, and I'm so happy because I love that show. So yes, I'm going to watch some Brooklyn Nine-Nine and then figure out what I'm going to eat and maybe pick another book, and then I will give you guys probably a rundown of what I have read this weekend and my thoughts, because I think that's how these reading vlogs go, where you talk about your thoughts and opinions about the books that you've read, and I guess that's kind of the point. I don't know. I've watched a few of these and I find them interesting, but also I know that this is not as good as like Peru's Project or Haley in Bookland or any other vlogger. So thank you for bearing with me so far as I sort of figure this all out. Just finished Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and It was a really good season finale, and they ended on a cliffhanger, and if I never had an answer to that, like if they didn't get renewed and I would never know the answer, I'd be real sad, but I'm excited, and the ending was funny, but also a cliffhanger, and yeah. Like, who else loves Brooklyn Nine-Nine? Is it just me? I'm surprised how few people I know have actually not heard of it until the whole social media thing happened when they got canceled. So, I don't know. Do you guys watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine? Am I alone in that? It's one of the only shows that I actually do watch. Like, my main shows right now are Supergirl, which a new episode will be on tonight, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and The 100. And The 100 is like probably one of my favorite shows out of the last few years. And I love it so, so much, and this season is so, so good. Like, please tell me also in the comments down below. If you love The 100, let me know, because I need to talk about it with people because it's just so amazing. And Bellark is everything. Don't do your Becco, don't do your Clexa, no. It's Bellark. Always Bellark. Unless, I could have Bellamy, but I don't think that that's how it works. So for now, Clark and Bellamy, they need to be together, and I just need that to happen in my life. So yeah. What are your favorite shows to watch right now? Still trying to decide what to read tonight. I have a couple of books staring at me that I may get into, but we shall see. The night is still young, so I'm not sure how much more I'm going to be filming today, but if I do pick a book, I will let you know. Also, if you guys have any recommendations for more books like Sky in the Deep and Catching Stars, please let me know, because I just want to read more. Like, I want more from those characters and I want more from those stories, and I don't have any like that on my bookshelves anymore now that I've read those two. So if you guys have any recommendations for more stories like those two books, please let me know, because I just need to stock up on them. Like, they were just exactly what I wanted to read. But like I said, I'll give you a full rundown later. But yes, I wanted to say before I forgot to ask you guys if you have any recommendations for more books like that. I asked out on Twitter just now, and I'm hoping that I'm going to get some answers, because I need more. They're so, so good. Alright guys, so it's about 7:15, and I was thinking about how the rest of my evening is going to go, and I think I might just read maybe a few more chapters of The Locksmith's Daughter tonight, as opposed to starting a whole new book as much as I wanted to. But not for whatever reason, I know why. I'm just really knackered, and I don't think I can focus on another book. Mainly, I would say, mainly because yes, I am tired from the late nights the last couple of days, but also because I am just in such a happy book high mood after reading what I read this weekend. Like, I absolutely loved both of those books, and I don't want to completely get them out of my head yet, so I think I might just sit with them for a while, and yeah, I think that's what the rest of my night's gonna be like. I'll watch Supergirl later, but I think I'll just get started on editing this video, because I have no idea how the editing is gonna go, to be honest. It's gonna be a task, because really I've just been picking up my camera all weekend, and I don't know if this is gonna string together well, if it's completely nonsensical, or what, but I figured before I ended the vlog I would give you my final thoughts on the books I read this weekend. So the first book that I read this weekend was Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young, and this one is the Owl Crate exclusive edition for the cover, and it's signed. So inside I have just slipped the author's note, and this is the Owl Crate exclusive edition cover, so it does not have the gold highlight that the original has, which I actually like. I prefer this cover more. But thoughts about this, I ended up giving it a 4 out of 5 on Goodreads, because I absolutely loved it. It was something that I had not really read before for this type of story. I really liked the dynamic between our main character Eileen. I'm not really 100% sure how to pronounce her name, but I really loved her dynamic with every single character, and I loved the progression of her character, her thought processes, everything just really stood out to me, and her strength as a female character as well really stood out to me, which I really appreciated. There was so much more than just battling in this book, but everything between the Ashka and the Riki, their two clans, I really, really loved that dynamic. It really made you understand the meaning of their gods. Like, each of the clans has their own separate god that they worship and the reason that they fight. And it really helps you to understand the logic behind it and what it means to them to dishonor and to be honored. And I just really, really liked this book. I recommend this book to everybody. I will gush about it forever. The only sad thing is I found out after I read this that it's a standalone. It's not going to be a series. And I just want so much more of these characters that I can't even explain how much more of these characters I want. And I did find out that there is going to be a companion novel that is going to be released, but it's not going to be a series, and that just breaks my heart. But I am so happy that I read this book. It was amazing, something totally different from what I'm used to, which is very rare to find, and I kind of just want to reread it now. I want to live in these characters' brains. I want these characters to live in my brain. It's just, it was so, so good. On to the second book that I read this weekend, and that is Catching Stars by Kayla Keenan. And this is from an indie publisher who is actually also a booktuber, I discovered. And he publishes, he does a micro publishing house, so he publishes a handful of novels every year, and this is one of them. And one thing that I will say, just on a technical note, is that the copy editing in this could have been done a little bit better. Like, I did find a few spelling errors, as well as a couple of points where something happened but the lead up wasn't there, or something had happened previously that didn't match with what was going on in that scene in the future. So there was just a couple of things technically that needed to be looked into a little bit more for this, but that was still very few and far between. So I still really, really enjoyed this story. Again, it was something a bit different for me. I mean, I read a lot of fantasy, so magic and things like that are pretty common for me to read about, but the type of magic that the witches in this novel had was just refreshing, and I really enjoyed both of our main characters' perspectives. Like, I didn't see myself. Sometimes with dual perspective stories, I find myself pushing through each chapter where it's a character's point of view that I don't really care so much about, but for both Jayan and Maddox, I cared about both of their chapters. I cared about both of these characters. I wanted to see how their lives sort of intertwined and who they were individually. So I really, really enjoyed this book, and I'm so happy that it is going to be a series, because one thing that I didn't notice until probably about 3/4 of the way through was that on the spine it does say 1. So it prepares you right off the bat that this is going to be a series, and I really appreciate that, because that way when people are picking up the book later on they know which book is number 1, because that is something that I really don't like about series sometimes, when you can't tell which is book 1, which is book 2, etc., etc. But this very clearly states it, which makes me really happy, because it means that I get to continue on with these characters. So while unfortunately Sky in the Deep, I am done with those characters unless I reread, this one I get to go back to. And this is also a book that managed to catch me off guard. Like, there is a bit of a reveal at the end that I definitely did not anticipate or expect, which, like I said, is very rare for me. So I very much appreciated that about this book. I liked the strength of both of the characters. I liked their interactions, as well as, like I said, their individual personalities and their individual stories. And I was really happy with this one. I was kind of surprised with how much I liked it. So just like with Sky in the Deep, I rated this 4 out of 5 stars. And with these ratings, I know I'm gushing, and I know I say that I love them and that I want everybody to read these books, because this is another one that just, if you like any type of fantasy or magic system or just awesome dynamics between two characters read this book. But I really, really am stingy with my 5-star ratings. Like, there's only a handful of books that I've given 5 stars to, and these are so close. Like, they might both end up being 4.5 stars, but on the Goodreads scale, because they just do whole numbers, I'm gonna say 4 stars for both of these. Alright, so that was my reading for this weekend, and I think I will put somewhere on the screen the tally up of pages that I read, but I think it ended up being maybe about 700 pages this weekend, which is admittedly lower than what I wanted. Like, if I did a 24-hour readathon, I might be okay with that, but when it's a whole weekend, it's a little bit disappointing. But that being said, I still managed to read 2 books, and I'm going to read a little bit more tonight. But I did want to sign off with you guys before the evening got too late, because I think I'm going to call it an early night. And if you've read any of the books that I read this weekend, leave a comment down below telling me your thoughts and how you enjoyed them, or if there were issues that you had with them, or maybe even what you read this weekend. I'm also kind of curious if you guys want to see more of this type of footage, so like following me along as I read a book as opposed to just hearing my thoughts about it in a wrap-up or what have you, because it was kind of fun to pick up the camera and gush about it from time to time, but also I have this sort of habit where I'll just sit and read for hours and just block everything out, so a lot of the times I probably should have picked up the camera, but I just kept reading because I didn't even think about it. But if you guys want to see more stuff like this, please let me know and I'll be more conscious of it in the future, and maybe do more of these sort of weekend vlogs. I'm hoping to have this up tomorrow, which is Tuesday, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. But I guess I hope your weekend was great, and until next time, keep reading.